Hey geeks, welcome to Game 7 of the season. Coming off our, I think it's a 2-game winning streak right now. Let's take a look. Actually, I think an easier place to look at that is team schedule. Yeah, we've won 2 in a row against Ocean City and then Xavier missing their free throws with no time on the clock last game, which made things exciting. So we're taking on Lancaster. Quick check of the standings has us 1 game behind Lancaster. Let's take a look at their squad, do a little scouting. So they're looks like from a team standpoint, I mean they're the best defensive team in the conference. So you can kind of see when they're winning, they're holding their opponent to some pretty low scores. And it looks like they lost on the road, one at home, lost on the road, one on the road. So they're undefeated at home right now, which makes sense. One thing about them, their defense is tough. It's even tougher when they're playing at home. There's an urban legend amongst the Capital Conference that their rims are actually a little warped, which their players are used to, and opposing players aren't. So therefore, it's harder to shoot on Lancaster's court, particularly outside shooting. Their team chemistry is really struggling, so hopefully we can kind of take advantage of that. They got a disrupted locker room. Wilbert Struthers and Roger Henrik are their best players. Wilbert is clearly playing much better this year. He's clearly the leading scorer. It's weird. Roger should be a good rebounder, but he's not really doing that well. He's not even like in the top 3 on the team, not even the top 5. So I wonder what his deal is. Maybe he's getting into a lot of foul trouble, or he's just not playing well. So it looks like we probably want to consider a lot of box and one on Wilbur. If there's any player in the conference that justifies a box and one, it's him. And then we'll be able to compress the zone box defenders on Henrik, and then it's gonna be on them to have guys like Miller and Kahn beat us with their outside shooting. Let's take a quick look at the attributes. I mean, there's Wilbur. Look at that scoring, decent agility, decent shooter. He's a strong defender, especially on the inside. Great passing, ball handling. He's just a really high basketball IQ. He's a really good ball player. Roger, his scoring has really digressed. He's normally higher with his inside scoring on that. His defense is holding up. His strength is decent. He normally has elite traits and this kind of stuff, and so he's kind of having a difficult year. Let's take a look at Irvin. Irvin overall, he's got a killer outside shot, and then he's a decent ball handler and passer as well too. So we got to keep an eye on him. And then Norris has a good outside shot as well too. He has decent agility and decent scoring. Irvin's not going to do much driving to the hoop. And then Cedric is their other starter. He's not much of a scorer. He's a rebounder and a defender. That's what he does best, and he has a really high IQ too. So he makes good basketball decisions. So those are the main guys. And then they got Timmy coming off the bench, a bit of a spark plug for him, plays really good defense, has really good agility, so he can drive to the hoop as needed. And then Stewart is more of their backup big man. Look at that. He's a really good inside scorer and decent rebounder. He's just not that strong is his biggest downfall. Okay, let's go train our players. So we're going to do the standard 5 and 5 for training reps. My experiment earlier, giving Delmont some first team reps, didn't really work out for me, and so we'll do 5 and 5. And then I am going to go inside offense, dial that up a bit. We're going to do our technical drills, athletic drills, team building. Free throws, we're just going to continue to kind of ride those as a 1. Playing Lancaster, I would like to dial scrimmages up to a 3 to really improve some of our traits, but what can I pull back on? I'm going to pull back. I feel like technically our guys are pretty strong right now, so I'm going to pull back on technical drills a little bit this week of practice and dial up scrimmages. So let's see what happens. Okay, well, our chemistry dropped back down to a 10. That's frustrating. We're just kind of swimming upstream with our team chemistry this year. Again, overall, not a good week of practice. Regressed on shooting, passing, ball handling, and rebounding. So all of our technical stuff as to be expected. Kermit, CJ, Trent all had poor weeks of practice. And then we didn't show good focus during technical drills. We did improve our defensive discipline, which should reduce the likelihood that we'll commit fouls. We hurt our rebounding, and then our emotion is not elevated this week. Okay, well, here goes nothing. We're going into potentially the toughest home court for probably the strongest home court advantage any team in the conference has. So let's see what we can do today. Go with our regular starting five. We're not going to mix that up. We're going to dial up the inside scoring a bit. We're going to go right at Henrik, see what we can do. We're going to go normal, and I'm not going to push things from a pace standpoint yet. I'm going to man and box in one, and I'm going to go even parts, and I'm going to dial out the zone. I don't want to give like Norris and Irvin beyond the box in one. I don't want to give them too many open chances in the zone defense to shoot outside shots against us. And then we're dialing back the pace, so let's dial up the defensive aggression a little bit and see what that does for us. Oh, we're actually at Bentley Truman today. That was my mistake. Okay, so they're we don't have to worry about their warped rims this game. Okay, we won the tip. Let's run the half-court offense and see what happens. Okay, we're starting outside. And they're zoning us, so that's good. So Zenon shooting the three, and he misses it. Okay. Okay, ooh, offensive over the back on CJ. Not a good start. A missed three-pointer by our team captain. And then also a over-the-back foul. Okay, outside offense. Mid-range, yeah. They got the board. Wilbert, of course, and he puts it in. Okay. I'm not gonna call a play here. They're trapping us. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Zenon busted it and hit CJ. So yeah, when you trap, you take a lot of break, or you take some risk, and that's if the opposing team can bust the trap, they'll get an easy basket. All right, they're setting up a play for Henrik. Oh, we foul him, and he hits the shot. Okay, potential three-point play. Let's see how they're lined up. All right, they got Wilbert at the 4. I don't know who I can take advantage of here. Ronnie might be able to drive to the basket on Norris. We'll do that next time coming down. I clearly didn't call that in enough time to impact this offensive set. All right, we're pressing them. Good job. Zenon steals the ball, and he's pushing the fast break. He stilled it and has a clear path to the basket. Great. Okay, we're up by a point. The full court press paid off. Okay, we're doubling Wilbert. And they set up a play for Wilbert. He's shooting a three, being double guarded. Great. So the box and one paid off. We got a defensive rebound, and we're pushing the fast break. Good outlet pass by Kermit. And Trent's going to push it in, passes it over to Zenon. Misses it. And they got the defensive board. Could have been a nice, when you're able to start making baskets on the transition off of opposing teams' misses, that's going to help your team momentum quite a bit. Okay, Khan. All right. So Khan hit one. We have 3 fouls. Is anyone getting in foul trouble yet? Again, my saying here is ABC, always be coaching. So check your players' energy, check their foul, if anyone's getting in foul trouble. Okay, play for Ronnie. Let's see what happens. Okay, decent pass. Good. All right, we were able to take advantage of that mismatch. Let's see what Trent's doing this game. Let's give him his shot, his chance to hit an outside shot. Okay, good. That's a foul on Norris. That's their first foul. Okay, we're methodically running the offense. That means we're in a slower pace. You can kind of look for the copy for hints. Hints on what your team is executing, what they're calling. Okay, Trent missed the 3, and they got the defensive board. All right, we're going to come right back inside to Kermit. I think after our next set, I'm going to call a timeout. CJ's getting tired. I don't have anybody in foul trouble, knock on wood. But we're going to run this one. I want to get an inside shot to Kermit and try to answer that made basket. And then we're going to call a timeout next time we get the ball. Okay, we execute the play. Nice. Okay, good. All right, let's get a defensive stop here. Okay, inside offense, and we're doing another box and one. Again, the heavy box and one. It's kind of a gimmicky defense usually, and with the talent of Bentley Truman, I don't like to run it too much. But I feel like with Wilbert, it's justified to do so. There we go. I had to call a timeout. So they're up by 2. I'm going to pull CJ out. He's at a 79. I'm going to leave the rest of the guys in. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to bring Vaughn in to play the point and slide everybody down one position. So Xenon will play the 2. Trent will play the 3. And Ronnie will play the 4. And so what does that do to our lineup? Not much, really. I think or our strategy, I think I can continue to, I want to dial up the attack a little bit just to mix things up. But other than that, I'm actually going to dial it up to be even with inside because we have good athletes who can drive to the basket. And the rest of this, I'm going to leave it as is. Okay. All right. We got the ball. Attack offense. And they're boxing one in us. They're doubling Xenon, and it's going to be Xenon taking the shot with Norris and D-Pass guarding him. Great. He's fouled. We'll take it. Hopefully my lack of free throw shooting isn't going to bite me, and it just did. Dang. He missed them both. Okay, but at least the big man Kermit got the rebound, and he also misses it. Dang, that's frustrating. Okay, guys, defensively, who do they have in there? They got Struthers in there at center. So I think what I'm going to do is just to mix things up. They're probably from a tendency perspective, not expecting zone from us. So I'm going to call zone next time down. Okay, prospect misses it. All right, let's catch him off guard. They are doing an outside offense, so they adjusted accordingly. Yeah, okay. He misses it. Great. And that's a foul on Trent. Okay, we're going to go to man defense next time. We didn't get it called in time. Again, you got to get ahead of things when you're calling plays. These games move in real time. Okay, he did miss the shot, but Struthers is going to go shoot 2 free throws. One more is going to make this difficult, and he hit it. Oh, boy. All right, let's see what happens here. They're trapping us. Okay, great. That's a blocking foul. Well, they could foul us because they weren't near the bonus, but he did foul out. So who do I want to bring in? Well, I think I'm going to need some outside shooting, so I'm going to bring in Kent to play the 2. I'm going to bring in Xenon to run the point, and then we need to score points here. There's 11 seconds, down by 4. I think this is what we got to do. Dial up the pace. Okay. I think that's a smart foul. Okay, McManus is going to shoot a 3, and he misses it. Pretty underwhelming game by the squad. We had a chance to move into tie with Lancaster, and it didn't work out. Lost day. They held us to 10 points. Again, they're a really good defensive team. I think that's our lowest offensive output on the season. Player of the game, Wilbert, of course, 6 points, 5 boards. I mean, that projects out to 30 or 24 points and 20 boards over 4 quarters. Pretty solid. All right, so we lost some geek points. Let's take a quick look at how the rest of there's our team chemistry down to single digits again after a pretty tough loss. And let's go here, week 7. Oh, wow, Little York beat 4 Corners. Did they beat them earlier in the year also? No, Little York beat somebody significant early. Oh, they beat Lancaster last week. So Little York is starting to get hot. South Lancaster gets held to 7 points, and then Morristown with a 1-point win over Xavier. So nobody's really running away with the conference. You can kind of see we're part of a glut of teams here at 3 and 4. Lancaster, South Lancaster up at 5 and 2, and then Morristown hanging around there at 2 and 5. Okay, that's everything. Tough loss today. We're going to do the turn on the season and start the second half of Game 8 tomorrow at South Lancaster. So that's going to be a big one. Let's see if we can go in there and knock off the team who's suddenly one of the top teams in the conference. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a good day. Bye.